Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today I wanted to show you a couple of things that I thought would be interesting for you guys to see, because on the internet a lot of people are aware of the Filofax, and I'm in the Netherlands in case you guys didn't know. Notice the HEMA reviews, but whenever I talk to a Dutch person about Filofax, usually they'll say something to me along the lines of, oh yeah, I used to have a Succes agenda. So in the Netherlands, Filofax is not very well known. There are of course people who happen to know Filofax because they tend to be in the planner community as well, but usually people will have heard of Succes agenda, which I have a couple of them here so I can show you guys. Now these are a random selection of Succes agendas that I've gathered over a couple of months that I have become aware that they're even a thing. But first I want to quickly give you a rundown on the company itself. Now Succes agenda wasn't actually an agenda at first. At first it was a magazine, Succes magazine, that was started I think in the late 1920s, 1928 if I recall correctly, somewhere around there. And it was a magazine for business people, which is a very interesting timing because, as you know, the Wall Street crash happened around that time shortly after. So business magazines, I don't know how well they did, but they did well enough to keep afloat, because in the, I think, mid-1930s, they started making a letter Succes agenda binders. Now none of these are old enough to be from that time, but ever since then the Succes agenda has been around and reasonably successful. They're still out there, going about as strong as Filofax is going. I think since most people are kind of like moving towards digital record keeping and stuff like that, with the exception of course of paper lovers like us, but most people will be heading towards Notion and other apps like that, and just a regular Google Calendar and whatnot. The whole on paper stuff is on the decline, and so are agendas. People don't tend to do that much anymore, with the exception of course, like I said, people like us. And I think there are like almost like a cult following of people who really like to have everything on paper. They're the ones keeping these companies afloat. But if I look on the secondhand websites for Filofax, I also often see Succes agendas. So I wanted to show you a couple of them right now. Now I have, let's see, 4 of them. Yeah, 4 of them right now. Different sizes. They have, I believe, 4 different sizes. They have standard, they have senior, junior, and mini. And I've got 2 minis and 2, I think one of them junior, I think the other one might be senior. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is between senior and standard. They seem kind of the same. But let's take a look at the minis first. Or shall I? No, let's start with the other one first. Let's start with this one actually. This is, I think, a senior or a standard. Now this is a very similar type of situation as the Filofax. This is a letter cover. It does feel kind of nice. It's a little tougher than most Filofaxes that I've seen. It's a little dirty still. And over here you can see the S, which is their logo, the Succes agenda logo. And then when you open it up, it looks pretty standard. This one's a little bit old, so the rings look a little brown in certain places. Once again, their logo over there, and you got your standard pockets over here for your cards, a full-size pocket on this side, full-size pocket on that side, and a small half one on this side. Pen loop is pointing inward, which is not always great. It can't be a super old one because it has elastic on the inside, this one. So I'm guessing this is more from the 80s or maybe 90s, probably 90s I think. And the rings, I already checked, they're like nicely even and everything. Standard open and close. A little bit snappy there on the close. This I think might be a junior, because the rings here are all like together and evenly spaced. And I think the seniors that I saw had the gap in between, like you see with the larger Filofaxes, and then it's 3-3 just like the Filofax has. But this one could use the Filofax inserts just as easily as any Filofax could. Of the, I think, pocket variety, whatever that size is, the A6 sizes, they can put them in here as well. Succes agenda has its own inserts as well, so you can put them in there as well, or Kelpa, whatever it is that you got. There's a couple of competitors, of course, but this one has similar types of inserts that you can put in there. So that's number one. Now this one I found in a secondhand store for $1, I think. Once again, Succes logo. I don't think this is actually crocodile, but it is leather, which they have pushed in this shape. And this one, I don't know what happened to it, but underneath, once again, the logo of there, similar pockets here, and then this slightly slimmer ring over here with the Succes logo on the rings itself, and it has this little ruler here that's been bent out of shape over the years, and I think it's also upside down actually. Can I put it there? You go. This is the way it's supposed to go. But this over here, I've tried cleaning this white stuff many times, but it just will not go away. So I don't know what that is, but that's not like a standard feature of the Succes agenda. But anyway, so we have a full-length pocket here, a full-length pocket there, a couple of card slots, and once again an inward pointing pen loop, also with some elastic so you can put any size pen in here if you would like. Same division of rings, just that these are slimmer, and it does not have a closing thing. So this is what it is. It does not have an elastic. It's well worn. I do like that, and it feels very nice. I do like the feel. It's kind of soft and puffy because of this texture that they put on there. So there's this one. Then on to the minis. These are limited edition minis. This one is. It says limited edition over there. As you can see, on the back we still have this logo, but this time it's a little metal thing. On the inside, does not say Succes agenda here. We got some card slots. We got a full-length pocket here, a half one over there, and an inward pointing loop again. This one is not stretchy, so this one takes a very small pen, and another full length over there. But if you are carefully to observe this situation over here, you'll notice that there's something with the rings. I'll take the insert out so you can get a better look at it. That one did not click. And let me see. Oh, it's very quiet opening. See that? And once again, of course, you have the S over there on the rings themselves. But if you notice, these 5 rings have a bit of an odd division. You got 2 rings close together, then there's a larger gap here, 1 ring, larger gap, 2 rings. So this is not for standard Filofax inserts, and I've been looking for hole punches that would do this, and I've not found any yet. So if I wanted to make my own inserts for this, that's going to be a bit of an issue, which I also demonstrated with this other one, which also has a really nice pattern. This is actually one of my favorite ones. It has this leaf pattern, of course, with the S on the back, also metal, and you can kind of feel the leaves, like the spine, I guess, of the leaf is noticeable when you brush your fingers across it. But yeah, I tried to give this one the holes in the right locations, and as you can see, I've got a couple of holes on the outside as well, because I have one of those 6-hole punch things that I can move around. But in order to get this, I had to also use this side of the punch, of course. It's a little bit difficult to explain. Well, I had to pull a couple of stunts in order to try and get the holes in the somewhat right locations, and as you can see, it's not the easiest thing to do. It does kind of work, I suppose. The layout is the same thing, by the way, as the other mini, so that's no difference. But yeah, so getting inserts for this until I get a hole punch that allows me to move all of the rings individually, or all of the holes individually, so I could do this in one go. It's going to be tricky, and I don't like that, because that means I have to buy special inserts just for this set of rings, and that is something that I do not like. I like to be able to do everything myself, so that's going to be a bit of an issue. Anyway, so in order to demonstrate, I guess, or at least show you an insert that they would then sell you, I have an insert for 2025. I'm going to move this out of the way so I can put it in here, because this is my favorite so far. Let's get this in here then, if I can, real quick. There you go, and I guess I'll put that one in here too. Oh yeah, I cut it in half just to try and get the right rings punched. There we go, I'll put this in there. you can go sit over here with your inserts. So I have this one now. And I bought a standard insert for 2025 because they still sell them for the mini, as you can see. Success established 1928. Oh, there you go. There's the date right there. This is day pages, which is something that I do enjoy. So we're going to open this up and then we're going to see about putting it in the binder itself. And then we're going to kind of page through it to show you what it's like. Oops, there we go. This one does not have any holes punched in it, so I cannot put this in here directly. Oh, this actually shows you where the holes are supposed to go, but how do you punch them? Nobody knows. But I can use it in here. Okay, so I wonder if this is going to fit, because of course it's a mini, and it might not have enough space on the rings. See this? I don't think it's going to close like this. That's interesting. This is for the mini. This is a mini, but there's not enough space to close the rings. So that would mean I would have to remove a bunch in order for this to fit. Let's see. Usually I'd never really do anything with address books or anything like that, so I could pull them out if there are any. Let's just page through it and take a look what we got that we might not be using. Well, this is just the cover page. You don't really need that. Okay, we start immediately with the dates. All right, so this is just all of the days of the year. All right, so we might have to keep part of the year in another one because I can't put everything in here. So this is holidays, and then we have calendars. Anything else on the back? 31st of December. And then the information page that you could potentially put in there if you wanted to do that. I never actually fill these out because I don't want people to start calling me or trying to visit my address if they find this thing and my whole information thing is on here. Not really something that I'm into. Oh, I'm noticing something. These pages have a little corner that is like this serrated. Is that what it's called? So you can take the little corner off so you know exactly where you are very quickly, which is nice. But this is still too thick. The rings will not accommodate this, I'm pretty sure. Let's try again, but I'm pretty sure I already know my answer to this. Yeah, maybe. No, that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to keep half of the year in the other mini then, because otherwise it's not going to close. That's a little bit unfortunate, but okay, we can deal with that, I suppose. So let's see, that would mean I would have to keep January through June in here. That's 1st of July. You go in here then. Hopefully that will fit. Yeah, that works. So there's this one then for the first start of the year. And you could potentially then use, I guess, 2 minis throughout the year. So you would use 1 mini for the first couple of months and then switch to another mini because that's fun, I guess. And then this goes in here like that. All right, so then we have January 1st through to June 30th in here, and July 1st until December 31st over here. I do like this size because you could just go ahead and do some daily journaling in here. It's got the times on here. Let's take a look at the page. Actually, I just kind of rushed right past it, but so what it does here is it shows you the month and the week, which is nice. And then of course you got the day, what day it's going to be, the week number, day number, and I guess 364, is that the day of itself? 344 until the end of the year, maybe? Yeah, I think it counts down until the end of the year. Can you guys see that? This one says 305 days on the 1st of March. Well, it's interesting to note that as well. It says that. It's interesting. Okay, but we have some timed lines here going from 7 to 10. Now, I'm personally not going to bother with the times, and I don't think many people will have nothing to do after 10. But, you know, there are people who have night shifts, so they wouldn't have any of their time represented here if they really were to stick to this, and I'm pretty sure they would not appreciate that. But what's interesting is that they have little quotes here at the bottom. I hadn't noticed this yet. This one says, conflict cannot survive when only one person participates, by unknown. And then over here, was man ernst meint, sagt man am besten in Spaß. I think that translates to things that you mean are best announced as a joke or something. Like if you want to comment on something, make sure it's a joke so people don't get too upset. Interesting that it's different languages, because now we have something in French. I don't speak French, so I'm not really sure what this says. No idea. And then we got some English in here and some Dutch. So I'm guessing that it cycles through the language. Yeah, here we go. We have another German one. It starts off with a Dutch quote, English quote, German quote, French quote, and then I guess we have another Dutch one on the other side. Yeah, that's right. Oh, interesting that it does that. So it's 4 languages, and we get quotes for every day, but they're so small that it shouldn't be an issue. Like, it's not like Hobonichi, where a whole section at the bottom of the page is a quote in Japanese or English, depending on which version you bought, of course. And then you have to put something on top of that. This is just the tiniest line down here, and I think that's acceptable. This section up here is much bigger by comparison, but then again, it's a small page, so anything you put over here will seem large. But it is a useful bit of information up there, so it's not like it's just their logo and some random nonsense that you don't care about. They really show you what week it is and where you are, or what day of the week this is. The 19th says over here, Sunday, week number, day number, and then how many days left. I've not seen any other company do that, so that's interesting that they do that. So that's a new thing. And like I said, it has these little triangular corners that you can take off when the day has come to pass, so you know exactly by looking at it, like, oh, these are all the things that have been torn. That means we're now on the 7th of February, for instance. So I like that. Also interesting that they specify everything in half an hour until 6, and then it's just every hour. Like, that is something that I have a gripe with pretty much all planners that I've seen so far that do not like times in their planners. They always focus on the workday hours more so than the rest. Like, everything outside of work hours just does not seem to exist, and then of course only the work hours for people who work a regular 9 to 5. And everything else just does not exist, and has to figure out for themselves what times they are going to, where they're going to put their appointments, stuff like that. Anyway, so I do like this agenda. I think I'll use it for mini journaling next year. The paper, by the way, I hadn't even really mentioned it, but it is very thin. I would say this is about 60 grams, 60 or 70, not very thick in any case. Does it say anywhere on here how big of, how thick it is? Does not say how thick this paper is, just that it is paper from a mix of responsible sources. This does not say it either. And this is the same thing pretty much, just this one says it with a little example of the page, and that one says nothing. Okay, great. There's that. Very good. And this bunch over here. So what did I take out exactly? Calendars, public holidays, celebrations, telephone alphabets. Oh, that's interesting. Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. There you go. Those are the alphabet things. I might keep this page just because it's fun, because it has those little things on it. And then we have a vacation schedule. Okay, I didn't even see that. That's interesting to put in there if you wanted to note when your vacation is. You could do that very quickly on this. It's just one little size paper that you can put it on, which I do appreciate that they try to put everything on as few pages as possible, even though this is a daily calendar. This is a slightly sturdier calendar that has the calendar of 2025 on it, and then 2024 and 2026 on the other side. I never use these, so this will probably not go in there either. And then we have another one of these information cards, which we already had earlier right here. So we have a double one. Why do we have a double one? I don't know. Do we also have a, yeah, we also have a double one of this. I've seen that. And personal memoranda, say date of birth, religion, lenses, spectacles, left, right, allergies, vaccinations. This could be handy. You could put that in here. Insurances, important numbers, alarm, ambulance, police, fire, doctor, hospital, etc. So that might be good to keep on you if you wanted. For instance, like blood type is not on here, but you could put that on these lines here in case you're like somebody who has specific conditions that people need to know about when they find you laying on the street somewhere. You could put that in here maybe and hope that people look at that, of course. So maybe that's something to keep. But so far I think I'm only going to keep that one just because it's fun to have, and the rest gets to go somewhere else. And I think I'll keep this in the back pocket. Well, it fits in the back pocket. Oop. Like this. So you can kind of see mini right there, which I think is kind of funny. Okay, so this is a thing that I might be using then next year for fun. And the rest over here as well. Oh, my Alpha Papa Tango thing needs to go in here as well. I'll put that in the back because I won't be looking at it daily, but it might be fun to just browse and try to memorize at some point in case I need to spell things out in some alphabet over the phone. Anyway, that's in there then. That's great. So there's that. There's this one. I'm going to take the super long one out the back because that's kind of weird looking. It's just to demonstrate how difficult it is to punch my own holes. I do have a little dashboard here that I might take out of this one. Oh, this one came with this one as well. I want to quickly show this one to you. It doesn't really make much difference either way, but they put this in here, and it's basically a bunch of European countries, tiny little maps of different European countries. You can kind of see all the main roads on here. You got France, Spain, Portugal, Southeastern Europe just in one card, and they have Eastern Europe in another card, Scandinavia, and then on this side they have Europe in general. You can definitely not see too much over there. Benelux over here, Deutschland, Switzerland, Austria, and Great Britain and Ireland in here as well. So that's interesting. That's in here. And then Belgium, Luxembourg has a specific one, and the Netherlands has one in here as well, because that's where this one came from. This thing is dirty, but I'll take it, put it in the back, I guess, to protect the pages from the pockets and things. And I have another little, very flimsy little ruler, but as you can see, it has like text on it: quality time, sign of the times, time out, take your time, times like these, time goes by, no time to lose, time to change, always on time, time is on your side, time will tell, next time, time flies, for the time being, time of your life, feel good time, and make time a success. So that's a whole bunch of time quotes that were also part of this. I've seen these rulers before that have all this stuff on it, so it's not like it's specific to this insert, but there you go. Then I'll put this one in here, one of these. This one gets to go up front to protect against the pockets over there on the left, scratching the paper too much. Glows, please. And to the back for you to protect against this side of the pockets. Yep. Nice little snap there. This one's dirty. Why is it dirty? I don't know. It's something green on here. What is that? That it's gone. Looks like it was some type of paint or something. And then we put this thing on here. Snaps on. And then you also have the today little tab over there, so you can also use this to figure out where you were in case you weren't doing the corners bit. So that is my Success Agenda collection, and just a little walkthrough Success Agendas to let you know that they exist, first of all. And there are probably better quality ones out there that I just haven't found, because price-wise they're pretty much the same as Filofax, so I'm pretty sure they have some fancier Success Agendas out there. Actually, I've seen a few of them that have like collaborations with other brands that are more expensive. That is something before I go that I want to bring up. Success Agenda has a lot of collaborations with other companies, and they also tend to have very bright, colorful designs which are not represented here, but they tend to have very interesting designs, very youthful looking designs, bright colorful patterns and things like that as well. Filofax has that in more of the Domino series like that, but not as much as the Succes agenda has. At least when I compared the stuff on both websites, I saw more colors and interesting patterns on the Succes agenda website. So that's one thing I wanted to throw out there real quick. Anyway, so that is it on the Succes agenda thing. Hope you enjoyed that video. Hope to see you in another video where I have another brand of planners that I found that I thought was quite mysterious, but we'll talk about that next time. In any case, thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.